now the Atlantic Sun Conference. So these two teams go back all the way to the early 80s, these two matchups.
Well, we are ready to mark the next chapter in this rivalry as Georgia Southern controls the tip. Good matchup of Sunbelt hoops on a great Thursday night here in Little Rock. Eagles would love to get on the board first, get things going. Little Rock, nice to see some familiar faces if you're a Trojan fan back out there. Georgia Southern, though, with the first triple of the ball game. Beautiful shot right there by a name you may hear a lot on this Thursday evening, Andre Sabersov.
Andre Sabersov has scored in double figures in 8 games this season, including 3 of the last 4, on a bit of a heater coming into this one.
Well, how about the other end, a matching tray from a guy that Little Rock's going to need to step up tonight, Marko Lukic with a nice answer.
And Lukic, speaking of guys on a heater, he has been lights out of late, coming off 25 against Jacksonville State.
After the, let's just say, lack of offense we've seen from these clubs the past couple of ball games, nice to see the first 2 shots go down low, but then Little Rock come the other way. And this is a name we have not seen a ton. You know, Myron Garner, Little Rock has been really excited to get him on the floor, see what he can do. He is athletic, Patrick. That's
right. His first action of the season, played at South Plains Junior College. Before that, played for Patrick Ewing at Georgetown. A guy who really assembled a lot of hype around himself this summer. People were really impressed with what they saw in practice. Injuries have kept him out to this point, but I think we're all excited to see what Myron Gardner can do, seeing his first action of the year.
Well, you can already see he is facilitating the basketball early in this one as Marich will go to the line, and he knocks down the first one. Good to see Marich healthy. I know he'd been battling a lot. You didn't want to ever see this Little Rock lineup without Nikola Marich. He's so good, so pivotal to not just their offense, but any inside presence. He's their guy.
Yeah, he's really Little Rock's, not their only true big, but the only one who plays real minutes. Averages 13 and 6 on the season. Scored 15 in his return against Jacksonville State, although I believe all of those came in the first half. Foul trouble limited Marich in that one against Jacksonville State.
Trojans open up with a full court press. Nice block inside. We talk about that inside presence on the offensive side. Marich with the nice block on the defensive side.
And that's kind of a swing skill for him. You don't see him do a lot of protecting the rim. That time does a good job of going up and contesting without drawing the foul.
So it'll say with Georgia Southern, Little Rock would love to get off to a hot start, especially being back here at home again. This is their only home game. Their game against Georgia State canceled on Saturday due to COVID protocols within the Panthers basketball program. So only one game this week for the Trojans, and that one goes out of bounds and will remain with Georgia Southern.
Big game here, as you said, to kick off Sunbelt Conference play. New season for Little Rock after a tough stretch.
Well, that was point blank inside for McCaden. We talked about him, how special he could be, Elijah McCaden. Man, Little Rock on the other end throws it away, but they're going to get a foul inside as Marich was shoved in the back.
And I believe that's going to be on Carlos Curry, who was wearing number 10 tonight, also wears number 25 at times for Georgia Southern. But Carlos Curry, the redshirt junior, I believe is the one who's going to pick up the whistle.
Trojans will maintain possession. 24 seconds left on the shot clock. Palermo inbounding, and that one's tipped away. You can see the size advantage for Curry. He is not a small man down there.
No, Carlos Curry, big guy, 6'11", 240 out of Albany, Georgia. You can see the length.
Isaiah Palermo just trying to get this thing in. Finally, he does. Back to the outside to Lukic. Lukic in the middle of a trap, and Palermo rescues him. 15 on the shot clock. There's Marich inside. I would bet money he goes to the left. He does just that, but it's off of the mark, and Georgia Southern now out of there with it.
And you can already see that stingy Georgia Southern defense reminds you a lot of that system that Chris Beard and Mark Adams like to run, where they keep everything out of the middle, force everything to the baselines.
3 is off the mark. They're going to get an offensive foul on Bryant. That one will go the other way. Cam Bryant picking up his first personal.
Going to have a couple substitutions here for Georgia Southern. Checking in is going to be number 23, Grant Weatherford. One of the oldest players in Division I basketball, 25 years old, Grant Weatherford.
One of the oldest to one of the youngest college basketball players in the country, as we mentioned too. What a point guard Little Rock has for the future. We talked about how good that DJ Smith has the potential to be. As now we're all tangled up and it'll be a jump ball, but What's the age difference there? I don't know exactly Smith's birthday, but it's got to be pretty big.
You're talking about 7 years right there. I want to say Weatherford was I want to say he was a freshman. I think he started his career at Purdue. He went to IUPUI. I want to say he came out in 2016, 2017, something like that. So you're talking about 7-year age difference there between DJ Smith and Mr. Weatherford.
DJ Smith was in middle school over at North Little Rock. But now these guys are facing off head-to-head in a pivotal early Sun Belt Conference basketball game. And again, really excited to see what Myron Garner can do. He's got the rock at the top of the key. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Tries to step back, and he's going to go inside. Back out to Palermo. 3-ball attempt, and that one just in and out. But Garner right there for the offensive rebound. That is something Little Rock has been missing. And second chance opportunity doesn't go, though, for Lukic. And now Georgia Southern's got a chance to tie or take the lead on the drive. And instead he's cut off by Lukic, and they'll get him with the foul.
And the offensive board there leads to a good look for Lukic from the top of the key. Just can't knock it down as Little Rock is whistled for the foul.
I know we're only about 3 minutes into this ball game, but you can just already see the difference from the physical side that Myron Garner is going to give these Trojans. He is he's a load.
He gives you another big body inside, probably more of a true 4. Little Rock really hasn't had a true 4 this year with injuries to Gardner and Ethan Speaker. He gives them a little bit more versatility in the lineup. Nice pass inside to the big fella for Georgia Southern and a slam dunk. Boy, oh boy, that was a nice play inside from Gitombi. Yeah, Gitombi transfer from Cincinnati. Really nice big-bodied presence inside for the Eagles.
All tied up at 5 is now Little Rock's big man, Marich. Tries to get things going. Back inside with the left hand. Boy, oh boy, you wonder what defenses are ever going to figure out his strength, and he's just going to keep going until they stop or pick up a personal.
And that time, Marich did a good job of recognizing the switch. He had McCadden on him. Toyambi's probably one of the few players in the Sun Belt who physically can really match up with Marich inside. That time Nicola had McCadden on him, was able to draw the foul.
5-5 early in this one, just about 16 and a half minutes left in the first half. Honestly, at this point in the season, with so much going on in the college basketball world, we're just excited we get some hoops on this Thursday night as Smith will go inside to Basuvic as he checks into the ball game. Basuvic not known for his offense, but they will need him to play some big minutes tonight. Looking to get rid of it. The nice cut inside by Lukic. Lukic saw the shot clock winding down, just kind of forced it up. He doesn't get it. Now Georgia Southern with a chance to take the lead.
Try to draw contact there, but no whistle.
Back outside, that's Brown from three-point land. That one off of the mark. Smith, good job boxing out of there with it. Georgia Southern with the numbers, and now Palermo. He's not afraid to take it from the outside. Instead, he dribbles into a double team. Little Rock looking for a good look, and they got a great look inside to Palermo. What a feed inside from Lukic.
And again, Georgia Southern wants to force the Little Rock players to the baseline. That time Lukic does a good job going on the baseline with his right hand and finding Palermo inside.
Georgia Southern cold to start this ball game, just one of their last 7. They've only hit 2 of their first 8 shots, but plenty of time to warm up, and a great feed inside. Back-to-back really nice passes as Toyambi finishes inside.
And that was Brown with the feed. He's the young man who's been on a heater for Georgia Southern that time with a nice pass.
Palermo inside, he gets the
fall under that 70-point threshold. So Coach Walker looking for ways to get his team a spark on the offensive end.
You said spark too. You know he had to have a little extra pep in his step putting out this starting 5 lineup compared to ones he's had to deal with over the past 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, I want to say this is a season high in terms of players dressing, healthy players dressing for Little Rock. 11 guys tonight as C.J. White has checked into the game. I believe this is his first appearance since November. He went down in Jacksonville with an ankle injury. Good to see C.J. White, the Parkview product, back out there for Little Rock.
These are the Trojans they expected to see. And how about the athleticism from Gardner, who gets the steal, tries to get the finish, draw the contact, but doesn't. But already you can already see the defensive impact that Gardner has. And then again on the other end, from the short corner, the big fella is off, which Sabrasov, they'll take that shot, though, every time.
Yeah, a good rebound there by Lukic to go up over Toyambi, a big body inside for Georgia Southern to snag that rebound.
So Isaiah Palermo on the other end. Garner posting up down low. Love to see Myron Garner impose his will on this side of the on side of the backboard. I think he got a little too excited there, Patrick. He thought he had a clear lane and just came up short.
Yeah, just a little bit of rust there on the post-up. Don't think he quite knew where he was on the floor. Came up almost underneath the backboard.
You kind of wonder, too, what it's like for a guy, you know, playing his first minutes as Sabersov gets the bucket on the other end. There's got to be some butterflies in the first 10 minutes of this thing.
Some butterflies and some rust. And conditioning, basketball conditioning is one of those things that it's so unique. It's hard to replicate it without game reps. I'm sure there will be an adjustment period for Gardner in terms of getting his feet under him here on the court.
Well, we've got a good start to this one. Georgia Southern and Little Rock all tied up at 9 apiece. Isaiah Palermo with the left hand pulls up and knocks down a beautiful jumper. Isaiah Palermo looking really sharp early in this ball game. He's up to 6.
Yeah, smooth move there by Palermo, under control, really pretty pull-up jumper.
The drive inside is Basuvic, tries to get the stop, but he cannot stop the big fella. Toyambi going inside. Toyambi off to a hot start. He's got 6.
Yeah, he averages 7 per game on the season, almost up to that mark here through the first 7 minutes.
Palermo not afraid to try it from the outside. Bit of a heat check for Isaiah. That one off the mark, and Southern coming back on the other end. Georgia Southern trying to take the lead right back. They go back inside. This is Brown. He tried earlier from that same spot. He's off the mark once again. And here comes Garner and Little Rock.
And Little Rock's been fortunate. Brown has had 2 good looks from 3. Hasn't been able to knock him down, but he has been red hot from deep.
Lukic pull-up jumper gets contested in the short corner. That one's blocked and knocked away. Here comes McCadden driving to the other end, lays it up and in. You can see the speed from the senior from Georgia Southern.
Yeah, pretty move there. Bates, Myron Gardner with the Euro step and finishes on the left side with his right hand.
Ryan Berg encouraging his Georgia Southern squad. Again, he's very familiar with this building, and assistant coach here on a debatable, probably the best Little Rock Trojan squad ever to play here at the Jack. And inside the Basuvic, that one's off the mark. But as you mentioned, Coach Berg, he knows Little Rock all too well.
Yeah, undefeated in this building. Someone pointed out earlier, Little Rock was 14-0 that year here at the Jack Stevens Center. That team won 30 games, both a Little Rock basketball record and a Sun Belt basketball record. The most wins in a season by any Sun Belt basketball program. Just such a fun and historic year that Coach Berg was a part of on Chris Beard's staff here with the Trojans.
Boy, oh boy, if you just look at all the coaches that have made stops here in Little Rock over the past 5 to 10 years, of course, 2 of them squaring off in the Big 12 with, Porter Moser over at Oklahoma and Chris Beard down in Texas. We see Coach Berg here. You know a lot of these guys, Patrick. They've gone on to do big things.
Yeah, that staff under Chris Beard, when you look back, just incredible. Obviously, Chris has gone on to coach at Texas. Mark Adams, now the head coach at Texas Tech. We mentioned Coach Berg here with Georgia Southern. Wes Flanagan now at Auburn. You got some other guys. Max Lefebvre coaching in the NBA in that 2015-16 season.
Well, he's certainly having a lot of fun over in Statesboro, his 2nd season. And he's going to – I really think he's going to get this program on track and get things going. The record itself and his success in prior stops, I think that's all you can think.
Well, if you've been around Brian Berg for a day, you know that he is just the ultimate grinder. The guy works as hard as anyone I've ever been around in my life. A really good recruiter, was a big part of bringing so much of the talent that 2015-16 team had to Little Rock.
First things first, he'd love to get off conference play with a win. That one off the mark, but inside. What a grab by Marich. Back out to Isaiah Palermo, and then he goes inside. What a pass, and Lukic misses at point-blank range.
And that length bothering Little Rock inside. Trojans on a bit of a cold spell over the last few minutes, just one of their last 9 from the floor.
Well, nobody cut off McCadden, and he bounces it over to Brown. Brown off to a slow start. He's 0 for 4 from the field. They got to get him going, but Georgia Southern, boy, they are getting some great looks early in this ballgame.
Yeah, the Eagles on a 6-0 run. Defensively, as you can see, pushing C.J. White toward the baseline. They're giving Little Rock some issues. Trojans are just 4 of 17 overall from the floor.
MRH tried to go back to the left hand, and then it's thrown away by Georgia Southern. Curry just wasn't looking. It ends up being a triple for Isaiah Palermo. Check that, just a 2-pointer, but sloppy play there from the Eagles. Little Rock converts.
Yeah, the turnover leads to the bucket for Palermo. Stops the drought, rather, for the Trojans.
See that sort of a half-court press there from the Trojans. They would love to get a little defensive momentum. It's what Darrell Walker preaches to his guys. Instead, it's another open 3-ball look for Georgia Southern. That one, though, from Elijah McCadden off the mark. And then on the other end, what an outlet pass. That's one of the things I loved about Sun Belt Conference play is that what we think we know in the preseason, we have absolutely no ideas. Curry had an easy look at a bucket, instead he misses, and then the teardrop from McCadden. That one's off the mark. Two really good looks for Georgia Southern, but they can't convert.
Yeah, I was just about to say, about two is about as good a look as you're going to find. Curry smokes the layup after they break the pressure. McCadden can't connect on the floater.
Yeah, Georgia Southern's missed their last 4. Little Rock, though, does them a favor, turns it over, and it'll head back towards the Eagles.
Both teams doing a good job, at least so far, taking care of the basketball. Southern has turned it over twice. That's going to be the Trojans' first miscue of the contest.
Both these teams trying to establish some three-point identity. I know they would love to knock down a couple of triples, but only 2 of 12 combined so far. Little Rock 1 of 7 from downtown. Georgia Southern just 1 of 5 as they'll try a tray. And again, the drought continues as now the Eagles are 1 of 6 from three-point land.
Yeah, Eagles cold to start this game. They're shooting almost 51% from the floor offensively so far this season.
Here goes Marich with that strong left hand. This time he gets it to go. That is just good old-fashioned strong inside post game.
I'll admit I was briefly faked out there. I thought he was going to go to the right hand, but spins back. Should have known better.
Never, Patrick, never.
Finishes with the left.
You don't exactly have to be a scout to understand that Nikola Marich likes to go to his left hand. And on the other end, they're going to get Lukic with the quick personal, and he doesn't like it.
I feel like in general, left-handed players are more dominant to their hand than right-handed guys are for whatever reason. Nikola Marich is on the extreme end of that scale. That is a young man who loves to finish with his left hand in the paint.
Been so impressed with what he's been able to do as Kevin Osawe is going to check back into the ball game, and Marko Lukic will take a seat with his second personal foul. 6-0 run for the Trojans over the last 90 seconds. And back and forth we go. I've been impressed with these offenses. You know, you wonder, again, with I don't know how many minutes these guys have played together. It has not been a lot. And chemistry's got to be a big deal, but so far they look comfortable.
Yeah, Kevin Osawe, as he checks in, he's a guy who's gotten some extended run with so many injuries and
I think
issues
they're
in
going
Little Rock lineup.
Well, you said it. I thought as soon as Bryant took the shot, Cam Bryant extended that right leg, and I thought they may get in with the offensive foul, and that's sort of something that refs have been told keep an eye on because these guys want to extend and get the call, and instead it's going to go the other way with Bryant extending the leg.
That's a recent emphasis. I think last year you saw the flopping call come into play. This year they're really looking for that leg extension on jump shots.
So it goes against Georgia Southern. Little Rock with a 2-point lead. Garner, love to see him make his impact. He's looked good so far in only 8 minutes of play. He's over 2 from the field, but man, has he looked sharp. 10 seconds.
Garner, you can see the comparison to Roger Woods. That's what I've heard a lot, a former Little Rock player, but a big body with some guard skill. You can see the way he handles the ball. To be a bigger physical player, you can see that he has some of those perimeter skills.
That one knocked away. It'll remain with the Trojans as Osawe tried to get it to go. That one out of bounds. So just 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Little Rock's got to get something up quick as C.J. White will inbound. And here's Osawe. He'll pull up from the short corner, and that one's off the mark, but it's tipped out. And Garner ends up back with it with a 20-second shot clock. Back out to Osawe. Garner skips over to White. White through the legs. Garner wide open from the corner. Boy, you know how bad he wanted that bucket to drop. This crowd was ready to explode if that one went in.
And that led to a good look. The drive by C.J. White. White was able to do something that not.
Are in a bit of a drought, haven't scored nearly 4 minutes.
Yeah, both teams offensively challenged here in the first half as a nice cut there by Weatherford leads to the wide open layup. Good feed by Toyambi.
That'll break the scoring drought. You just need the announcer to say he hadn't scored in a minute. And as you said, Patrick, nice really move and cut from Weatherford. As we are all tied up at 17 apiece. Isaiah Palermo gets double teamed looking for an outlet. How about that outlet? Garner, again, you get the feeling he just hasn't played a lot of basketball. He's right there getting good looks, but coming up short.
Yeah, that's just rust, and that's a play that he's going to finish.
To have the former Parkview Patriot back on the floor.
Yeah, can always use his scoring and his three-point shooting in the lineup. Just a big physical body that Little Rock needs for its perimeter defense as well.
Georgia Southern with a 2-point lead with 7.5 minutes left to play in this first half. Hayden Balgaby alongside Patrick Newton as the Trojans open up Sun Belt Conference play. Palermo inside to the big fella Marich, tries to get it to go, gets his own board, goes back up. That went off the mark, and that Georgia Southern defense just swarming Marich.
Defensively, Southern has done a great job of making Little Rock's touches in the paint very uncomfortable.
They try to force feed it inside to Brown. Ball's loose, trying to get a scramble for it, and it'll go out of bounds and go back to Little Rock.
And neither team right now setting the world on fire offensively. Both teams really struggling from the floor. Little Rock shooting 27%, Georgia Southern 38%. Both teams looking for a spark on offense or for someone to get hot.
Little Rock would certainly use some offense right now. They're 0 for their last 5. Haven't scored nearly 3 minutes. Jovan Stulich checked in as C.J. White will look to get this offense going. You can tell Georgia Southern does not want Marich to get that ball inside. How about a 3 attempt from Kevin Osawe? That one in and out, and a really nice offensive rebound. That's a great job by Kamari Brown. And
a good look there for Osawe. His man was cheating, looking to help. Had the entry pass gone into Nicola Marich, but good find. Just Osawe couldn't knock down the three-point jumper.
And on the other end, that's McCadden with the nice follow. Missed the initial shot, but a great job following his own shot, and then unfortunately gets the ball and steps out of bounds, and it'll go back towards Little Rock.
And we're going to have Marco Lukic checking back into the game for the Trojans. Lukic, 2 of 8 from the floor, has knocked down Little Rock's lone three-pointer.
Well, you said it, you know, the Eagles doing it, creating offense with their defense. A 6-0 run for Georgia Southern over past minute 42 as Isaiah Palermo will take a seat and catch a little bit of rest. And here comes Garner. C.J. White directing traffic out there. As you mentioned, Garner seeing his first action, trying to get familiar with the rest of these guys, and so many of these Trojans have either missed because of illness or injury. 2 seconds on the shot clock, and they're going to get the block, and Georgia Southern can't believe it. They thought it was a complete charge, and they're going to say it was a block, but no bucket.
I don't know if I've seen a universal reaction of shock the way we just saw from Georgia Southern's bench reacting to that call, and I think I'm probably with them. To me, that looked like, or I expected it to be an offensive foul on Marich. As it is, will be a blocking call, and we'll send Nicola to the foul stripe.
Coach Berg certainly asking for some answers after that call. Shot clock was winding down, and boy, oh boy, did the Trojans get bailed out with the foul call.
Yeah, we'll send Nicola Marich to the line where he is shooting 65% on the season. The preseason 3rd team All-Sun Belt selection.
Quick substitution as Kamari Brown checks back in for Georgia Southern. That's been a lot of free throws early in this ball game, just 5 attempts in fact. Georgia Southern 2 for 2 from the line. Little Rock 2 for 3 as Nicola Marich will try to make it 3 for 4, and he does just that.
Yeah, not a ton of whistles in this one, not a ton of turnovers.
We like that.
In some ways, a very cleanly played game with the exception of not a lot of made shots. Both teams struggling from the floor to start as Georgia Southern holding on to a 3-point edge, 21-18.
Something to keep an eye on. Little Rock in the bonus the final 6 minutes of this first half. The second one is off the mark. What a feed inside at point blank. That one off the mark, but right there for the follow is the big fella. Carlos Curry gets the slam.
What a pass. A 30-foot bounce pass there. I believe that was McCadden who flung it. Just an excellent vision and excellent feed.
Skipping stones on the pond as Marich turns it over. Here comes Georgia Southern again. The drive and the finish. Doesn't get the and one, but what a drive inside by Elijah McCadden. He was your guy to watch before this game started, Patrick. He's looking everything like the senior we thought he would.
3 of 8 from the floor, has 6 points already. Going to have a chance for 2 more here, but came into this one really scoring it well of late. Double figures in 5 of his last 6. Had 17 against Morehead State, 14 in Georgia Southern's near upset of Georgia Tech. Shooting darn near 60% from the floor over his last 6 games.
I realize in, the ACC and the SEC and these big conferences, there's so many one-and-dones and you get freshmen, but how much importance is it to have a senior like that to go on the road and try to get a conference victory to start the season?
Oh, I think it's huge. And I think when you talk about having a veteran club and roster continuity, Georgia Southern is set up really well. They have one of the oldest rosters in the country, bring back 9 lettermen. The 19th oldest team in Division I in terms of average age boasts Georgia Southern's roster.
Well, Little Rock trying to find some continuity, and you can see they're looking for answers right now as Garner gets the pump fake. Great feed inside to Marich. He finds the bottom of the bucket and gets the foul.
Nice play there by Myron Gardner. Pump fake sets up the drive. He finds Nicole Marich, and that's the type of thing that Little Rock has missed, playmaking from the 4 spots. Someone who can put the ball on the floor, who can take their man off the dribble, who has the vision to make those types of passes. That's what Myron Gardner brings to this club.
That foul goes against the big fella, Savrasov, inside. He's got 2 so far in this ball game, and Marich. He's been good inside so far. 7 points, make it 8 as he drills the free throw, and Little Rock all of a sudden back within 3.
Yeah, and Myron Gardner, just to kind of go back to what I was saying, when you've got a guy like that who can beat his man off the dribble, it opens up so much for your offense. That's really one of the main things that this Little Rock team has lacked at this point in the year, someone who can really break down a defender off the bounce.
Well, here's the 3-ball attempt from the corner. That one maybe caught a piece of the back of the rim, but nice offensive rebound instead. That one's off the mark, and here comes Little Rock trying to answer as Curry missed inside. Here's C.J. White running, pulls up with the left hand, and that one won't drop. Georgia Southern trying to answer on the other side as Weatherford directs traffic. Now he'll get it back outside to the big fellow, Caden Archie. Archie inside, loses control, and it'll go back towards Little Rock. Archie trying to draw the contact inside, but good defense by the Trojans.
Yeah, when you talk about guys maybe playing with some rust, Archie, this is his first game since November 21st. A former 4-star recruit went down with an injury. I'm sure Coach Berg is excited to have him back in the lineup tonight.
Dallas, Texas native, former UTEP minor, trying to get things going. How about Nicole Marich, just left-hand dribble drive between 2 defenders. He gets the bucket off the glass.
And just bully ball there from the elbow by Nicola. Gets his right shoulder into the defender and goes hard to the left hand.
Boy, did they miss him the past couple of weeks. Excited to see Nicola back. He's up to 10 points on the other end. How about a little B-button spin move? What a drive. Sarasov, man, that was pretty.
Yeah, Savrasov there with the nice spin, finishes with the left hand. His 3rd bucket of the game. He has a team high 7 points here in the first half.
The Georgia Southern back up to a 3-point lead under 4 minutes left to play in this first half. It's a really nice game so far from the big fellas inside. As C.J. White directing traffic. There's Jovan Stulich back out to the big fella Marich. You know what he's going to do. He wants to go inside to the left. He does it, and right now they just can't stop it. He's a man amongst boys.
And that's just pure strength right there, just getting his right shoulder into his guy and going up strong with the left hand.
You don't have to be a genius to figure out the game plan for Little Rock right now. It's give it to the big man and get out of the way, but how about that pull?
A lot of athleticism. He's playing some really good defense to start this game as Savrasov misses the first of 2 at the charity stripe.
Well, you just wondered, you know, how good this Little Rock Trojans team can be if they just get their guys back on the floor. We've seen such a mix and match lineup so much of the season. And same goes for Georgia Southern too. You just want to see these teams at their best, and that's what we've been waiting on. And I think we're going to get a glimpse of that in this first conference game of the year.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of been the million-dollar question for Little Rock is what is this team going to look like when they can actually get their full unit on the court together. And I think it's going to take some time for Coach Walker to figure out which lineups work together and how this team gels. But I think he's really excited to have Gardner back, C.J. White back, have, like I said, I think 11 scholarship players dressing tonight. I believe that is a season high for Little Rock.
Jovan Stulich, the drive and the feed back outside to C.J. White. White looking for someone, back out to Palermo. Good defense on this possession for Georgia Southern. Here's Palermo driving. He'll try to dish out to Lukic, and they were not on the same page.
Going to be Little Rock's 4th turnover here the first half. Both teams have done a decent job of taking care of the basketball. Georgia Southern actually with 6 turnovers. Trojans with 4.
Again, in case you didn't hear the news, Little Rock, this will be their only game of the week. They were set to host Georgia State on Saturday, New Year's Day, but COVID protocols within the Panthers program will not allow them to play on Saturday. So this is Little Rock's only game here at the Jack this week. It's actually now that I think about it, their last game of 2021.
That's right. As Georgia Southern adds to the tough outside shooting to start this game. These two teams 2 of 17 from deep to start. Marko Lukic has knocked down the only triple for Little Rock for Georgia Southern. Savrasov, the only 3-pointer.
Yeah, it hasn't exactly been a clinic from downtown, as there's a little bit of miscommunication for Little Rock. Weatherford takes advantage. He gets the easy steal and goes coast to coast.
Yeah, Lucas threw that pass just as Nicola Marich turned his back. Leads to the easy bucket for Georgia Southern.
Well, again, we say it one more time. Continuity. We have not seen a lot of it from these guys. Still getting used to playing with one another. And those things will certainly happen when you just haven't been on the floor together very much.
You got a size mismatch inside. If Little Rock can capitalize, that's Weatherford trying to guard Marich in the post.
Nearly another turnover for Little Rock. They got 4 seconds on the shot clock. They got to get something off as Marich will just try anything with the left hand, and he couldn't do it. Great defense from Georgia Southern as their bench is fired up.
Yeah, Little Rock with a good opportunity there, just could not take advantage, as Marich had several inches on the smaller Weatherford guarding him in the post.
Tell Marich frustrated after that possession. He thought he may get slapped on the arm. Instead, it'll go back towards Georgia Southern. And give credit. I mean, sometimes when the threes aren't falling, you got to give credit to the defense. They've been really, really solid from the perimeter. Again, Georgia Southern just 1 of 8 from downtown. Little Rock 1 of 9. They have taken advantage inside. Palermo bodies up the big man, Toyambi, and then back inside. What a leap by Brown. Golly, I thought he could hit his head on the rim from the height he got, but he gets it to go, and now Georgia Southern extends their lead 31-25.
Brown with his first bucket of the game. Came in really shooting well from outside. Has not been able to carry that over to this one so
boy,
far.
Oh boy, Little Rock is all out of sorts on offense. Wouldn't be surprised if Darrell Walker takes a timeout right here. And
that sort of feels like a game that's going to come down to a few possessions late. Don't want to give away any more points here to the Eagles to close the first half.
So it'll be Brown at the free throw line shooting the 2 technical fouls. He makes the first one, and just a frustrating sort of final 2 minutes to close out this half for the Trojans as Brown misses the second attempt. But and this was a tight ball game just 2 minutes ago, and again, still anybody's, but Georgia Southern has their biggest lead of the night.
Little Rock's fortunate that Brown misses the second. He's a 90% free throw shooter. Again, came into this one having scored in double figures in 4 straight games. 8 made triples over his last 2 games.
Trojans need a good offensive possession here. Want a little bit of momentum before you head into halftime as Garner looking for anybody. They are just so figured in on Marich, and it doesn't matter. He gets some space, and he's up to 14.
And Marich is doing his damage in the post here in the first half. He's had to work for his buckets, but has been effective against this stingy Georgia Southern defense.
And did Little Rock ever need that possession as now Isaiah Palermo tries to cut over inside, but really good passing, and it is once again the big fella Toyambi. He's up to 8. That's just great offense from Georgia Southern.
You said it, great ball movement there, great passing to beat that Little Rock pressure and get the layup.
So we've got 10 seconds left in the half. Little Rock will hold for the final shot. C.J. White would love to cut this lead down. White into the inside. He goes to the left hand, and that one just off the front of the iron, and Georgia Southern
knocking down 54% of your shots in the paint.
Well, here we go. Georgia Southern will get the rock to start things off here in the second half with a 9-point lead. Again, it was tight all throughout the first half before the Eagles went on that 9-0 run. They would love to extend this lead into double figures, and they were point-blank range from doing it, but that one off of the mark from Carlos Curry, and now Little Rock coming the other way is Smith. Trying to force feed it inside to Nicola Marich, and Marich turns back to his point guard, and Marich is grabbing his left arm. I don't know if he bumped his elbow or maybe, hopefully for Little Rock, just hit his funny bone or something.
Yeah, we're going to have a quick substitution. DJ Smith takes his seat. I'm not sure what Coach Walker didn't like there, but C.J. White checking in for Little Rock.
Interesting. Whatever. I think, in fact, Coach Walker will probably go down and talk to his young freshman. Don't force feed it inside. And there's Isaiah Palermo. Almost made a bad mistake and touched the ball after it was deflected by Curry, but wisely stepped out of the way, and it'll stay with Little Rock.
And a lot of length on the floor right now for Georgia Southern. This size has really made it tough for Little Rock inside all game. Nicola Marich has 14, but it's had to work for each and every one of his shots in the paint.
Curry is a big dude. I know folks at home watching on TV, you can't tell. He is a massive human being, and here's Garner as they try to extend Curry beyond the three-point line. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. A great feed inside to Marich. He'll pump fake, tries to go up and gets it to go. One of the foul call didn't get it, but now he's up to 16. He has been this team's offense all night.
Really nice offensive possession there for Little Rock. Great set out of the out-of-bound play. Gets the ball to Nicola Marici, who now has 16 of the Trojans' points.
Almost a Sports Center top 10 play as Brown could not complete the alley-oop. Brown's got some hops. Like, his head nearly hits the rim when he's jumping out of here.
He's an athlete, the kind of player you don't see a ton at the Sun Belt level, a guy who's a really good outside shooter and also a fantastic athlete.
Well, here goes Little Rock's offense. Nicola Marici going to the left hand. They're just going to let him work. Trying to get something going, goes up and under, but could not get anything as he was forced underneath the bucket by about 3 Eagles. What a feed inside and the layup for Georgia Southern. Sabrasov with a beautiful pass inside to McCadden, and they got an easy bucket.
And Sabrasov showing off the skill there at 6'7", 225. Was able to lead the fast break there and make the feed. Really impressed with what we've seen out of the Texas Tech transfer tonight.
Well, you can probably hear the sarcastic round of applause that this officiating crew is getting as they're going to get Bryant with the personal foul against Marici. And Darrell Walker was fired up heading into the locker room after the first half. He doesn't seem nearly as frustrated now, but Nicola Marici is trying to ease his coach's mind as he goes up and under, and that's going to be an and one. Nicola Marici is just a one-man wrecking crew for the Trojans, single-handedly keeping them in this ballgame.
He is the entirety of Little Rock's offense right now. In the second half, he has all 4 of Little Rock's points for the game now, up to, let's see here, stats taking an extra minute to load here. Marici up to 18 now on 7 of 12, getting to that left hand, getting physical inside. This is the type of game that he loves, the type of game that he really thrives in.
Well, the entire Trojans offense taking a minute to load except for Nicola so far in this ball game, trying to get things going, but he has been so good. Again, 18 points so far. He's got a chance to get to the 19-point, and I think he may have a cut on his elbow. Pat Adams is going to direct him to the sideline, and he must have a cut. It looks like we're going to get a quick timeout, but again, he's been so good. Darrell Walker said, sure, send everybody off. I don't want him out of the ball game. Keep him in there.
Yeah, Nicola has been so good in this one. Came back in the last game against Jacksonville State, had 15 points all in that first half after missing the previous 5 games on the season. The big man out of Bosnia-Herzegovina averaging 13 points, 6 rebounds, and just so efficient from the floor. 55 overall, shooting 40% from 3. Was a preseason third-team All-Sun Belt selection. You are seeing why tonight. 18 points, 4 rebounds. Just has been a one-man wrecking crew for Little Rock.
Patrick, I don't know what the record is for Eastern Europeans in a singular college basketball game, but we got to be on the brink here of guys from overseas playing in this one against Sabrasov, the St. Petersburg Russian native, playing for Georgia Southern this evening. And they have all played extremely well as that one gets tipped up, goes high in the air, and somehow McCadden comes out of there with it. Georgia Southern trying to extend their lead. What a feed inside and a great pass, but instead what they're going to do is they're going to get steps, and man, the big fella Toyambi can't believe it. He had a wide open look on the pump fake, but instead took one too many.
Tough break for Toyambi and tough break for, I believe that was Caden Archie who made the feed, or maybe that was
That's a beautiful pass.
I believe it was Cam Bryant. We're going to have to look at it here. It was Cam Bryant who makes the feed. You see the pump fake.
Does he move the feet?
Ooh, it was close.
It was close.
Very close.
May have shuffled and may have not, but again, Pat Adams was right there to make the call. And here's Kevin Osalwe trying to get this Trojans deficit under 7. Again, we have a football score, 38-31, Georgia Southern. The drive to the left hand. Normally that's Marici going to the left hand. Marko Lukic says, I can do it too.
And Marko Lukic doing a good job there of taking what the defense gives him. Again, they want to push everything away from the middle. That time Lukic able to get to his left hand and finish on the left side of the bucket.
5-point ball game. Georgia Southern led it by 9 at the break. As creep up on a little under 17.5 minutes left to play in the second half. Cadden tries to go inside, but what a bucket inside by the big fellow Toyambi. He traveled on the last possession and he makes up for it.
Now up to 10 points and 5 boards for Toyambi, having a nice game inside for the Eagles.
And you kind of see where Little Rock struggles on offense as Marici sits on the bench, tries to catch a few minutes. How about Garner from downtown? That one just off the mark, but he follows his own rebound, goes back inside and draws the contact. Really good job by Gardner to follow his shot, and he draws the foul to go to the line for 2.
You see the versatility there from Gardner. Will have a chance now to go to the foul stripe and get the first points of his Little Rock career. Gardner has missed all 5 of his shots from the floor so far to start this one, but you can see the potential in the way he plays and the energy he brings to this Little Rock offense.
Some Detroit basketball as Gardner, the Michigan native, will go to the line, the 6'6 junior, South Plains College transfer. Love to see him have a very successful career here at Little Rock. Was ready to say there's some history for you, but he misses the first free throw. Hasn't been great from the field, 0 for 5 and now 0 for 1 at the line, but you get the feeling as soon as he gets one to drop, they're going to come in bunches.
As you said, you can see the potential in his game. Started his career for Patrick Ewing at Georgetown as he knocked down the second for his first Little Rock point.
So there it is, his first point is a Little Rock Trojan. It's a 6-point lead now for Georgia Southern. Good response from Little Rock to open up this second half. The lead was as many as 9. And here's Gardner. We may see the athleticism right here as he throws it down on the tomahawk, lifting the Trojan bench onto their feet. Welcome to Little Rock.
What a play there by Gardner. Good perimeter defense to come up with the steal and throws it down with authority on the fast break.
On the other end, though, Georgia Southern answers in a hurry. Elijah McCadden. Great job to answer the quick throwdown from Gardner. Woo, this place exploded when he did that. This time Gardner's going to get the foul called against Archie with the reach in. And we said it, there's a reason we're talking so much about the athleticism on full display on that throwdown.
And even though he hasn't really connected on shots from the floor, you can see how he puts pressure on the defense. He's a big guy who has guard skills, can handle the ball, has burst off the bounce, and you saw the lift off there on the fast break.
Well, he was fortunate. He was looking the wrong way when the inbounds pass came in. Luckily for the Trojans, Kevin Osawe paying attention as Isaiah Palermo goes to the right. First free throw attempt. Georgia Southern led this ball game by 9 at the break, and now Little Rock has been able to cut that lead down to 6 and make it 5 after the second one drops.
Little Rock, nice start to the second half. Trojans have forced Georgia Southern into a couple early turnovers here since halftime.
Zone defense here for the Trojans as they try to prevent Georgia Southern from extending the lead. Instead, inside, it's the big fella, Toyambi, once again off of the glass. He gets the foul on Palermo with the slap on the arm. Man, Toyambi is just ruthless inside. He's up to 12.
Yeah, having a really nice game, 6 of 7 from the floor. And Georgia Southern has really done a great job in terms of how they move the basketball when faced with that half-court pressure from Little Rock. You've seen that several times tonight. That pressure really has not been able to speed up the Georgia Southern offense the way Coach Walker would like it to.
We were talking at halftime, too, in between the break. Been so impressed with Brian Berg and his staff's ability to create great looks for this offense. And you mentioned it, too. It's a Chris Beard formula. It
is. It's a lot like Chris Beard. Very balanced scoring on offense. They want to really limit their turnovers defensively, keep teams in the 30s or the low 40s in terms of their shooting percentages from the floor. Doesn't run as much motion as Coach Beard does, but you can definitely see the similarities in the way he wants to win basketball games.
So Toyambi back at the line. I think it was a lane violation on that first free throw attempt, so he'll go to the line, and he takes advantage. Knocking down the second one is the Russian Savrasov will check back in.
And big stretch here for Little Rock. Trojans had a nice start to the second half. Need to keep that momentum as it looks like Georgia Southern is going to apply some full court pressure as Marco Lukic and Palermo will receive the inbound pass.
Again, Little Rock was on a really nice run offensively, got things going, cut this lead down to 6, but still plenty of time left. Only an 8-point lead for Georgia Southern. If you're a Trojan fan, we'll see if they can handle this full court press. Usually it is Little Rock applying the pressure, especially earlier in this season, but haven't really been able to do it with so many injuries and so few guys. And now Kevin Osawe will try a triple. Sure, why not? Kevin Osawe knocks it down from three-point land. That is just the second made three of the ball game from either team. 2 for 11 now is Little Rock. Georgia Southern still 1 of 8.
And Osawe had been cold, just 2 of 13 shooting over the last couple games, but He has shown a talent for knocking down that three-point shot this season.
Weatherford the drive and a great pull-up inside. That is a great-looking jump shot from the elbow.
Yeah, good answer there by Weatherford. That seems to have been the answer so far in this contest. Each time Little Rock has gone on a run, Georgia Southern has been able to provide the response.
You said it. So now they go back inside to Marich. We'll see if he's able to get the left hand to go. Marich looking for anything. Instead, it's an outlet pass, three-ball attempt. That one off of the mark as the shot clock expires from Lukic. And now Georgia Southern's got a chance to extend their lead. Archie driving. CJ White had a decision to make. Two guys, only one defender, and Archie gets it to drop for his first points of the ball game.
Archie there with a nice Euro step to finish with the right hand. The senior from Dallas, Texas. One of several Division I transfers on this Georgia Southern roster. Archie started his career at UTEP.
On the other end, Isaiah Palermo says, settle down this offense as he knocks down the jumper. And it's a 7-point ball game once again. I think Marich and looks like Weatherford got tangled up for a second.
Yeah, we'll get another look at it here. It doesn't look like there was really too much, just a little bit of contact after the play and Weatherford went down. Officials did a good job there of stepping in immediately.
Settling things down. Again, Georgia Southern, Patrick, as you said it too, as soon as Little Rock looks like they're going to cut this lead maybe a little bit closer, Southern has had answers, and give them credit that when they've had open looks in the second half, they have taken advantage.
Yeah, and this time it's going to be Little Rock who is going to apply some full court pressure to Georgia Southern.
Eagles looking to open up Sun Belt Conference play with a road victory. Get another great feed inside. How about the finish by the big fella? Man, has he been special. Man, I mean, there's just not a lot else you can say about Andre Savrasov. He's been dominant at times.
Yeah, that time took a page out of Nicola Marich's playbook. Just got his left shoulder in the defender. It was opposite from Nicola. Nicola likes to finish with the left hand. Savrasov gets to the right, and Marich provides the answer on the other end for Little Rock.
Well, these big fellas going blow for blow, as you said it. Marich now up to 20 points. He has been great inside. Georgia Southern with no answer for him, but Little Rock's got to have somebody else step up.
Yeah, Little Rock definitely needs somebody else to provide something on offense. It's really just been a three-man show to this point in the game.
Shot clock winding down. The three ball outside, and the bank is open as wow. Weatherford shrugs his shoulders, Jordan style, right in front of the former Chicago Bull, Darrell Walker. Man.
Was just about to say, gives the Jordan shrug after he banks that one in. He'll take it.
How about a three-ball attempt from Kevin Osaway? That one's off the mark. I mean, come on. He can't be doing the Jordan shrug off of the bank and in.
bold move there by Weatherford.
Instead, this is going to be an offensive foul as it'll go the other way. I want to take one more look at this if we can. Here's Weatherford. He's going to get the dish. Instead, that's going to be what just happened. But, man, I can't believe he did that.
And you look down the line, just not to go over too much, but just the balanced scoring from Georgia Southern. Savrasov with 10, Weatherford with 9, McCadden with 11, Toyambi with 13, Brown with 7. Just the balance on the offensive end from Georgia Southern is what has made them so tough to defend.
I was waiting on you to do the Bill Rafferty call. Onions. All of a sudden, Georgia Southern back up 10 points. As Little Rock tries to cut that lead back down to single digits. Great feed inside from Garner over to Lukic as they get a foul call, and you can start to see the vision from Garner. He can do more than just dunk it.
Yeah, you can see the playmaking ability. You can see his ability to beat his man off the bounce. He's got some vision once he gets into the lane. He's going to be a really nice player for Coach Walker. You can see now why Coach Walker was so upset and was so excited about Gardner earlier this season and so upset whenever that injury kept him out for the first however many games it's been so far this season.
Well, here's a stat for success for you. Georgia Southern, 7 of their last 7 from the field.
Yeah, Southern's really found their stride here since halftime. Now shooting better than 50% for the game from the floor. Little Rock shooting the ball better in the second half, but just can't keep pace with Southern, as you mentioned, have hit their last 7 shots from the floor.
Little Rock able to cut that deficit back down to 8 with a couple of free throws as Lukic knocks down a pair. He's up to 9. Georgia Southern resetting on offense as we creep up on 12 minutes left in this basketball game. Brown with the left hand tries to force feed it inside to Toyambi instead. Brown steps on the line, and Trojans forced a turnover.
And I mentioned earlier that Southern's not really a motion team, but they have so much off-ball movement on the offensive end. I've been really impressed. It's been fun to watch. It makes them so difficult to defend in the half court.
Coach Walker trying to encourage his guys to get this lead down. It's been a good ball game so far. The three-point shooting has been hard to come by, but really good offensive basketball. Sort of has an old-school feel to it as C.J. White tries to go to the left hand instead.
I've been watching. He
watched The Last Dance.
He's 25 years old. You know, he's one of the oldest players in Division I, but has really played good tonight. It's been sort of an impact player for them off the bench all season long, but perfect 4 of 4 from the floor in this one with 9 points.
I'm going to just safely assume he's wearing 23 for a reason for Georgia Southern, as that one is tipped away, but it will remain with the Eagles. And I've just been so impressed with what Georgia Southern has been able to come in here and do. Again, you're not getting an outstanding offensive performance from your playmaker, your center. McCadden is in double figures, but man, Toyambi has been really big. Savrasov has been fantastic. They've just dominated inside except for Nikola Maric.
Yeah, I mean, this has really been – this is the way they want to play. They want that balanced attack. They have 8 players who average between 6.5 and 12 points per game. And right now they have 5 players within that range right now. So this is really the way they play offense and the way they win games.
Well, Savrasov, right place, right time, as the shot wouldn't go, but he was there for the easy putback, and now the lead is back out to 10. Little Rock, still plenty of time in this, over 11 minutes left to play, but you would like to see an offensive run soon if you're Coach Walker and these Trojans, as Isaiah Palermo looking for somebody. C.J. White, shot clock's winding down. 3-ball attempt is right there for a beautiful drop for Lukic. He is now up to 12 points with the shot clock winding down.
An excellent job there by Lukic to be ready to receive the pass and get that shot off in a hurry. Had Savrasov right in front of him with the shot clock winding down, got that ball off very quickly.
I don't know how much you love that shot if you're Georgia Southern, as Cam Bryant misses from way downtown, and here comes Little Rock with a chance to get right back in this thing as C.J. White goes to left hand. Maric, like using animal noises down there to try to get the basketball. Instead, it's a turnover, and here comes Southern. The feed out to Bryant, but Palermo tips it away. And now Georgia Southern's going to settle things down. I mean, Maric was screaming for the rock.
Well, with the way he's played, he demands a touch, or deserves a touch each offensive possession.
I mean, he sounded like Ric Flair down there yelling woos left and right. Now, I'm about to start calling Prince Toyambi the nature boy, because he looks right at home down there in the paint. He has been a factor with 15 points.
He is beasting inside. 7 of 9 from the floor, has 5 boards in 18 minutes.
Great feed inside to Garner. Maric not only can score, he's got a great vision inside the paint, and Garner's able to lay it up and in.
Yeah, you saw that passing ability from Maric out of the post a lot in this year's opener against SIU. That time does a good job of finding Myron Gardner streaking along the baseline for 2.
58-50, Georgia Southern with the lead and the ball, looking to extend it. They go inside to Toyambi. He has been great so far. What a great feed, and one for Savrasov. And man, Georgia Southern's bench is fired up. Patrick, it doesn't get any better than that.
No, I believe that was Savrasov who made the entry pass to Toyambi. Just slips back door on Myron Gardner. Will have a chance at the old-fashioned three-point play, and Savrasov having himself a game. Now up to 14 points on 6 of 10 from the floor. Just really impressed with the transfer from Texas Tech.
What a feed inside. I mean, these guys, the vision and the feel they have for one another, they've been great tonight.
Yeah, great feel. Really good execution in the half court. Again, Southern now up to 52% from the floor. Things look like they're maybe getting a tad chippy inside between Toyambi and couldn't tell who that was.
That was Garner. I'll give Garner a lot of credit. I think he wanted to announce his presence with a little bit of authority there, and give him credit. He was patient. He didn't do anything. He stood there, and they just exchanged pleasantries for a few seconds.
And we'll send Gardner to the foul stripe as both teams make the long walk to the other end of the court.
So Garner will go to the free throw line again. Little Rock, still plenty of time to get back in this ball game. Over 9 minutes left. And something to point out, too, they're 4 of their last 5, and they are in the bonus.
The issue with Little Rock right now is going to be getting some stops. Georgia Southern has made 10 of their last 12 shots, and this is really how Little Rock ran into issues against Jacksonville State. Really played a nice first half, led by 1 at the break, but then surrendered something like 60+% in the second half to Jacksonville State. Just couldn't get stops, and Jacksonville State was able to pull away for the 20-point victory.
So Garner does his job, knocks down a couple of free throws as Kevin Osaway checks back into the ballgame for the Trojans. McCadden easily breaks the pressure. And how about an alley-oop that was almost a thing of beauty, but that's the second time Brown has had a chance at an alley-oop and he dropped the basketball.
Yeah, Brown's got to watch that pass go into his hands. That went right off his fingertips.
And then on the other end, Lukic, point-blank range, misses off the front of the iron, comes up short, and a golden opportunity missed for the Trojans.
And Georgia Southern going to slow it down here as McCadden sets the offense.
Michael Jordan himself, I'm sorry, that's Weatherford out beyond the 30-point line. He's been a fun guy to watch tonight. Great defense from Little Rock inside. C.J. White able to corral it, feed over, and here we go. This may be a show for Little Rock instead. Kevin Osaway is going to get absolutely smacked by the big fella inside, Savrasov, and he'll go to the line shooting for 2. Good transition, though, for the Trojans.
Yeah, very nice transition look there. Good pass by C.J. White. And they're going to say that wasn't a foul. They're going to –
oh, great, okay.
Little Rock is going to inbound. I'm a little surprised by the non-call there.
But I think he's been a great addition.
Yeah, I think all things considered, he has looked really good tonight. Has 7 points all here in the second half. Has made some nice plays off the bounce as we see him get a touch here in the post. And going up against a really stingy Georgia Southern defense has held his own tonight. Not bad for a guy seeing his first live game action in almost a year.
Kevin Osaway, speaking of nice ball games, he's been really good so far tonight. Nice follow as he's up to 5 points. And once again, Little Rock has cut this lead to 6. And then Garner's got to commit the foul as it was a clear lane on the way to the hoop for McCadden, but Garner just preventing any easy layup on the other end.
Yeah, nice drive there by McCadden. Was able to lose Palermo with the left to right crossover. And that's going to be the 4th personal on Myron Gardner. I believe it's likely he takes a seat after that whistle. Nice
luxury for Darrell Walker that he's able to look at Nikola Maric and say, get back in there, and you're only up to 20 points. We may need 30 tonight if we're going to get back into this ball game and take the lead as McCadden knocks down the first free throw.
And being able to go to his bench is not a luxury that Coach Walker has had at all times this season as Palermo and Gardner grab a seat with Lukic. Or it looks like Palermo's not going to take a seat, excuse me. He's just talking to Coach Walker along the sideline.
Getting a couple of directions from the play chart.
False alarm.
False alarm. I thought Palermo was checking out too, but again, I'm looking at foul trouble here. Archie really with Georgia Southern, the only one in deep foul trouble with 4 so far as that one's off the mark. So turns out to be a good foul for Garner as they only give up 1 point.
White, this is a guy that I'm sure Little Rock would like to see get going. He's yet to score in this one, 0 of 3 from the floor. He can really light it up from the outside.
Well, here's a wide open 3-point attempt, and that one just off of the mark from Lukic. That would have been a huge bucket for Little Rock. And unfortunately for them, there's going to be a foul called, and I think that one's going to go again. It is Recruit. He gets a lot of guys, and he's been really good here in Little Rock, obviously on that special 2016 team as an assistant that went into the NCAA tournament and pulled off that shocker against Purdue. But now, all things considering, he's wanted to start this Sun Belt Conference season off 1-0 as fans wanted to travel on Toyambi instead. Georgia Southern will retain possession. What a drive. McCadden did everything but finish.
And that is the second time in the last couple of minutes McCadden has put that left to right crossover on a Little Rock defender.
So here's Little Rock down 7 with a chance to cut this lead once again. Osaway back up to C.J. White. C.J. White from downtown, and he's on the board.
And that is a sight for sore eyes. C.J. White can shoot the basketball. Played 2 years at SMU before transferring to Little Rock last season. Trojans have missed his outside shooting.
So here we go. Trojan faithful picking up the noise, and they're going to get a turnover and a travel on Bryant. A lot of Little Rock fans on their feet, clapping, fired up as it's a 4-point game, and Little Rock has a chance to cut it even further.
And Little Rock hanging around despite not playing their best basketball game, just trailing by 4 points with under 7 to play.
So Isaiah Palermo will take it at the top of the key. Down inside to Marich. Marich backing down with the left hand, fires over to Osawe. Corner three ball. This would be big. That one just comes up short though. Lukic, you could feel maybe a little sense of urgency from that corner three.
Yeah, but that was a good look for Little Rock. Good job by Nikola Marich to make the pass out of the post, and a good look there by Osawe. Just the touch pass to a wide open Lukic in the corner. Marco just couldn't knock down the three-pointer.
They're going to get Palermo with the reach-in foul. It's going to stay on the floor, but just after that replay, Lukic kind of slammed the basketball down. He was frustrated. He could feel the momentum. If that one goes in, it's a huge shift in this basketball game.
And that's his shot, the open corner three. That is where his bread is buttered.
That's really nice defense by Marich not to pick up the personal. And CJ White wanted the outlet. They get it to him just a tad bit too late. Instead, CJ will reset, and here comes Little Rock into their offense. Marich, nice skip pass. Osawe for the three-point attempt, and that one comes up just as short, but Osawe gets his own rebound. He thought about pulling the trigger. CJ will pull the trigger, and now it's a one-point ball game. Darrell Walker fired up.
CJ White with his second three-pointer in the last 2 minutes again. That is the type of offense that Little Rock has missed with White out of the lineup. He turns it over just 6 times in the entirety of the first half.
So here we go. We got a brand new ball game. Georgia Southern, though, still with that 1-point lead. They will reset into their offense. Eagles looking for a big road victory to start off Sun Belt Conference play. Savrasov has been so good. He's going to drive against Kevin Osawe. Goes to the left hand, and Isaiah Palermo gets in there and steals it. Little Rock with a chance to take the lead. Palermo tries to go up, and they're going to get the block. And now Isaiah Palermo will go to the line. Boy, he was close to getting a charge. I thought McCadden may have set his feet for a second. Instead, Isaiah will go to the line.
Palermo was a little bit out of control there on the fast break, but I think that Georgia Southern just didn't quite have their feet set. That's why he was able to get the whistle. But another nice defensive possession for Little Rock that time, turning Savrasov over and turning that into an opportunity for some transition points.
And this is where that depth finally is helping Little Rock. In the past 3-4 ball games, you could just see him wearing out. You could see the minutes and the depth struggling down the stretch, and now you've got guys playing big minutes who we hadn't seen before as Isaiah Palermo ties this ball game up.
And you see other options in the offensive end. You've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different guys get into the scoring column for Little Rock since halftime. That just wasn't a luxury that they had earlier this season.
Trojans trailed by 9 at the break, and now they will remain tied with Georgia Southern as that one bounces out. 61 all, here we go, 5.5 minutes left to play. We are set up for a fun finish here at the Jack Stevens Center. Georgia Southern trying to match this Trojan run. Little Rock on a 7-0 run the past 2 minutes. Brown from way downtown, that one off of the back of the iron. Nice box out by Lukic.
And another good defensive possession for Little Rock.
That's an 11-1 run for the Trojans over the past 4 minutes. And now they got a chance to take their first lead of the ball game since 9.5 minutes left in the first half. How about Lukic outside? He's going to fire CJ White. Can he make it 3 triples in a row? He's the hottest man in Little Rock as he drills another three-pointer.
And CJ White suddenly is red hot. Almost looks like he's cramping. He reached down and grabbed his calf. And the way he's walking makes me think he almost has a cramp or a cramp in his leg. But White has been red hot here in the second half. His 3rd triple since halftime.
That's one of those NBA Jams moments where he's on fire. If this was a video game, the ball would be on fire as Georgia Southern comes up empty on another possession. And here comes White. You said it, Patrick. He was cramping there for a second. He looks to be okay as they go back inside to Marich. Little Rock with this 10-0 run to make it a 3-point lead. Marich wants to go to that left hand. Toyambi with the nice defense, but they'll go right back to him. What a cut inside and a hard
14-1 run. Little Rock has rattled off 10 straight over the last 3:15. Meanwhile, Georgia Southern has not scored over the last 4 minutes and change. The Eagles, after really scoring efficiently for much of this game, have had trouble finding good looks in the half court.
So here we go. Lukic knocks down the first one. The second one will roll out. Again, plenty of time, too. We said it so much for Little Rock. Plenty of time to get back in this ball game. Plenty of time for Georgia Southern to take that lead right back, trailing by 4. Their offense has been so good throughout this ball game. Just on a cold streak. They're 0 for their last 5. Haven't scored in over 4 minutes. There is plenty of time for these Eagles to go on a run. That one, though, off of the mark, and you feel that McCadden is pressing just a little bit right now.
Yeah, and he has made some nice moves in the second half. He's been able to get into the paint, get into the lane, just hasn't been able to convert on those floaters.
Here's Isaiah Palermo. We'll see if he wants to try something from downtown. Instead, feeds it inside to Marich. Up with the left hand and a three-point play the old-fashioned ways. Man, Nikola Marich has dominated this basketball game.
And he is having himself a game up to 22 points. His career high, I believe, is 27. Nikola, 9 of 14 from the floor, really getting it done inside. And I don't have his shot chart in front of me, but almost all of his 9 made shots have come within just a few feet of the basket.
It is just crazy how quickly these games can turn on a heel, especially in conference play. Georgia Southern was rolling in this basketball game, up by double digits just a few minutes ago, and all of a sudden, Little Rock has flipped the script, and the Trojans are up 7.
Well, it's been a team effort for Little Rock in the second half. You've got 4 different guys with 7 points or more since the break, but C.J. White, his ability to knock down some outside shots and stretch that Georgia Southern defense has been huge.
Boy, Little Rock got away with one. Brown got him on the switch, was wide open, they didn't see him, and then Brown steps on the line, and it's all falling apart for Georgia Southern.
Yeah, I tell you what, when it rains, it pours. Right now, Georgia Southern just can't do anything on the offensive end. They've gone ice cold, 4 turnovers in the last 6 minutes, haven't scored a point in the last 5+. The Eagles need to find some type of positive momentum.
Well, Little Rock now with a little under 3 minutes left, and they're going to get Marich with an illegal screen, and Darrell Walker is beside himself on that call.
Yeah, doesn't like the call, and really the kind of break that Georgia Southern needs right now. They needed something to break up that offensive momentum for Little Rock and gives the Eagles another shot here to get something going on offense.
Well, maybe that's the break Georgia Southern needs to get back into this ball game, down at 7, 2:40 left. They have just gone ice cold, haven't scored in over 5 minutes. As Patrick just mentioned, and now we're going to get a quick reach, and that one's going to go against Marich. And Marich picks up 2 fouls in a span of about 10 seconds.
Yeah, the good news for Little Rock fans is Marich didn't have any fouls in the first half. That's just his 3rd personal for the game. Is going to send Toyambi to the foul stripe, who has 15 so far in this one.
Boy, that's got to be frustrating if you're a Trojan. You got the ball with 2:45 left, you're up 7, and then 2 quick fouls, and all of a sudden, Southern shooting 2 free throws without any time running off the clock. And I stand corrected, it's a 1-and-1, so that one's off the mark, and now Little Rock's out of there with it with 2.5 to go.
And Toyambi, unfortunately, not the guy that Georgia Southern would like to see taking those free throws, just a 52% shooter on the year.
So here's White, he's knocked down 3 giant triples, and now they're going to get Bryant with his 4th personal foul against Marich.
I think it's safe to say that every offensive possession for Little Rock the rest of the way is going to have a healthy dose of Nikola Marich. He has just been too effective inside, both at getting his own shot and drawing fouls against the Georgia Southern defense.
I think it goes without saying, Little Rock missed him a little bit during his time.
I think that's an accurate statement. A preseason 3rd-team All-Sun Belt selection, has really been a rock for this program over the last 3 seasons and change. Little Rock missed him, not just his ability to put the ball in the basket, but just someone to consistently put pressure on the defense. He provides that and then some for Coach Walker.
When it's your night, it's your night. I didn't think that free throw stood a chance. It was going to the right. Instead, it bounces off the rim and rolls in, and instead that one's off the mark. So Marich will stay at 24 points. 2:15 left to play. Little Rock with an 8-point lead, and now Georgia Southern's got to go in a hurry. They're going to get a foul call. I didn't see who it went against inside. That will go in against Kevin Osaway.
I think that's going to send Toyambi back to the foul stripe again. Not necessarily the guy that Georgia Southern would like to see at the foul stripe, just a little better than a 50% free throw shooter on the season. Has had a nice game tonight, 15 points and 8 boards.
How about a 19-1 run for the Trojans over the past 7 minutes?
It's amazing. I would like to go back and see, did that run start with the first C.J. White three-pointer? It almost feels like the game flipped whenever he started to make shots from the outside.
Well, if there's anybody that can turn a game quickly, it is Darrell Walker, who preaches defense, and as well as and as big as those three-pointers were from C.J. White, don't get me wrong, they were the catalyst. And it all started with the defense. Georgia Southern, tough looks left and right. And again, they can't knock down their free throws as that's not the guy you want at the line.
Yeah, and you said it defensively. Little Rock has made things tough for Georgia Southern, has forced the Eagles into 4 turnovers over the last 7 minutes. And we've said this several times now, the scoring drought now for Georgia Southern is more than 5 minutes.
That is a huge steal from Weatherford as he pokes it away from Palermo. 1:45 left in the ball game. Georgia Southern needing a quick bucket in a hurry. Bryant off of the mark. Marich goes up top, and he's going to give it to Palermo. And that, don't want to say it's a backbreaker just yet. That was a huge stop for Little Rock. And there goes Bryant with the reach in. Nice job by Bryant, though, grabbing C.J. White, saying, hey, no harm, no foul there. As Bryant, that's his 5th. He's done.
Yeah, and down 8 with a minute 33 to play. If you're Georgia Southern, you need almost everything to go perfect for you the rest of the way. They need Little Rock. They need Little Rock to miss free throws, and they need to find very quickly some execution on the offensive end.
I think it just goes without saying, too, is what a final 10 minutes. I mean, it felt like in the snap of a finger, Little Rock just took advantage and didn't look back.
Oh, this is as dramatic a flip of a game that I can remember at the Jack Stevens Center in a long time. I mean, Little Rock, frankly, did not look great through the first 30 minutes of this game. Really struggled to shoot the ball. Defensively, were not playing their best game. Georgia Southern was shooting a very efficient clip from the floor. We're getting lots of quality looks in the paint. But over these final 10 minutes, they've been able to find their touch from the outside. Big thanks to C.J. White on that front. Nikola Marich has continued to do what he does. And defensively, they have really found some momentum on that end of the court.
Folks, Georgia Southern led this ball game 60-50 with 9 minutes and 16 seconds left in the ball game. And now Little Rock has been unbelievable, as you said it, in the final 9 minutes as they lead by 10 with just over a minute to go. And they look like they're well on their way to starting the conference slate 1-0 as C.J. White is fouled and he'll go to the line.
And if you're a Little Rock fan, there's a lot to be optimistic about when you look towards Sun Belt Conference play. You finally have this roster healthy. Nikola Marich is looking as good as he's ever looked. C.J. White, if this is any preview for what he can do the rest of the year, you have to be excited about it. This is what Little Rock fans thought they were getting whenever White came back to Little Rock. The Parkview product, played 2 seasons at SMU, really shot the ball well through his first few games as a Trojan player last season, was injured at, I believe, Missouri State, and just couldn't quite get back into a rhythm after that. But so far tonight has really been the type of explosive three-point shooter that Coach Walker thought he was bringing in.
I'm just looking at the numbers now, and they're just astounding. So C.J. White knocks down that second free throw. That is a 22-1 run over the final 8 minutes.
Yeah, it's incredible. I can't remember a game flipping like this and as quickly as this one had. As you said, it went from a 10-point Georgia Southern lead to a 12-point Little Rock lead in the span of 8.5 minutes or something. It just, Little Rock found its momentum on both ends of the floors so quickly.
So it certainly looks like now the Trojans are going to get out of here with a victory over Georgia Southern. And boy, give this staff credit.
Lukic with 12. You've got Gardner, who got his first start tonight with 7 points. Just some really balanced scoring, especially in the second half for Little Rock.
And it kind of came out of nowhere, too, as Brown drives inside and gets the layup to go. Look at the stat sheet, and it's not going to be, overwhelmingly impressive, 2 for 8. But I think the opportunity that he provided was he gave Marich time to rest. He
gives you someone to spell Marich in different situations throughout the game. He also, and you don't get to say this much about a power forward, but he gives you another ball handler. He gives you another playmaker. He's got a good handle. He can beat his defender off the bounce. He had several plays tonight where he was able to beat his man, get into the paint, and found Marich or other players for shots in the paint. Just a really skilled player at that 4 spot.
Lukic will go to the free throw line and knock the first one down. Not a great shooting night for Marko Lukic, just 4 of 14 from the field, 1 of 7 from downtown, but the confidence is there. He's played 36 minutes, really big minutes, and if he knocks this one down, which he does, he's now up to 14.
Yeah, Lukic continues to play well, came into this one averaging almost 20 a game over his last 4.
Desperation time for Georgia Southern. They need a quick bucket, and with emphatic fashion. That is Toyambi, who is now up to 17 points, throws it down. 49 seconds left to play. Still a 10-point ball game as Palermo will try to break the full court press. They've got him trapped. Palermo looking for somebody as now Toyambi has to commit the foul. And once again, it is the sharpshooting Lukic going back to the free throw line.
We'll give Marco a chance to add to his total. Just can't say it enough. Just what a turnaround for Little Rock here in the second half. A 21-4 run over the last 6 minutes and change. Just on both ends of the floor, a complete reversal of fortunes for both teams. So
barring something pretty miraculous, Brian Berg will suffer his first loss here at the Jack Stevens Center. You know, looking forward at Georgia Southern, the depth wasn't there tonight, as we discussed. It looked great, played extremely hard, and at points looked like this game was in control. But how do you see them faring out in the Sun Belt? Yeah, well, I think to your point, it's important to mention they're only playing with 8 guys tonight, so they're playing with a short bench. But you look at their roster, I think they've got a ton of potential. Some really nice players. I've been really impressed with Sabrasov tonight. McCadden came in really shooting the ball well and has been solid tonight. I think for them, they just kind of ran into a buzzsaw over these last 8 minutes. Little Rock just found a way to put everything together in a hurry. C.J. White starts knocking down shots from the outside. Nikola Maric imposes his will inside, and defensively, Little Rock just executed and had an effort on that end of the court over these final 8 minutes. We just haven't seen out of the Trojans to this point in the season. So again, in case you missed it earlier, Little Rock will not play Georgia State on Saturday. The Panthers forced to cancel that ball game, entering the COVID protocol, so that game is canceled. Next up, Little Rock, we're going to see how they do on the road. Trojans head down to Louisiana to take on Monroe a week from tonight on January 6th, and then a really tough test at the Ragin' Cajuns on Saturday night. Should be fun. It's going to be the last time we see Little Rock take on all these teams. We've been so accustomed to them battling over the past 30 years. Should be a lot of fun as C.J. White here holds the ball, just about a 2-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. Well, the Trojans, who struggled for the first 30 minutes, as Patrick alluded to, are going to walk out of here with a 1-0 conference start in Sun Belt play. We're going to get a quick look. Coach Georgia Southern team, getting C.J. White back into the action, getting Myron Gardner back into the action, getting Nikola Maric going in a big way. All of a sudden, Marco Lukic is playing the way I think this team expected him to play entering this season. Shot the ball so poorly through the team's first few games. But this Little Rock team is finding its stride at the right time. So the Trojans are going to get out of here with a double-digit victory after trailing by 10 points.